an opening statement and then opening for questions.
Yeah, obviously I thought we did, we were just real mature, I thought, and, really professional to start the game. Offensively, defensively, I think we just made it really hard on them. I think, it helped to come in here. I remember coming in here last year, and we played a pretty flat game, and I'm not even sure what the attendance was last year, but just kind of looking around in the anthem and seeing the place kind of have a bunch of fans in here, and there was a pretty good atmosphere, and I think that probably helped our performance, because I think we kind of sleepwalked last year through the game. So obviously the results for Georgetown, typical year one of rebuilding something that that Ed's obviously got a heck of a task here, but you can already see the atmosphere for the UConn Georgetown game this year compared to last year. I thought was night and day.
Okay, Dave,
Yeah.
But you called timeout, about 6 minutes left there, really late into the guys. Was there something specific there, or was it just a general second half, maybe human nature type of thing, or was there a specific thing you were upset about that?
Yeah, I just think that we had a bunch of moments of weakness there in the second half. If you don't keep foot on gas here in these games, maybe not today, but we get to that point in the season where on a made basket you don't get sprint back and get loaded up to the ball, right? Your season ends and you lose and you go home and you're disappointed with how it ends. So those are habits and behaviors that have to be entrenched. Whether you're up 27 with 6 to go or whether you're in a 1-point game, those are habits that have to be formed, and that's not who we were. We made it 3, and 3 guys on the weak side just jogged back, and I was absolutely just beside myself.
Coach, you spoke about the maturity of this team. Have you felt that way all year, that they are the type of team that could walk into a game that obviously you're expected to win and come up and be this efficient?
Yeah, these are the scariest games. We know we've got some big showdowns coming up down the road here to end the conference slate. These are the games that that scare you the most, because you're afraid that your players will look at their record and take them lightly. I think what helped us coming into this game was that Georgetown gave us a hard game at home. We ended up winning by double figures, but it was 7, it was 8, it was 9. The one thing that did give us comfort is Georgetown's played better on the road than they have at home. Part of that is the challenge of just Ed getting the atmosphere. You win at home because you've got a great atmosphere. The atmosphere makes it tough on the opponent to play well. So the one thing that we kind of did feel good about coming in is that they've played better on the road than they have at home.
And in the perfect world, is this where you thought that this team would be at this moment? Still peaking, not quite there yet, but certainly on a trail of getting there.
Yeah, if everything broke right for us. People talk about what we're trying to do, compared to what Duke did when my brother was there. They were back to back, and what Florida did, and they're back to back. What we're attempting to do, I think, is far harder.
Yeah.
Those teams returned all of the big guys. So obviously, when you put the roster together at the end of last season and you're working through the summer, you see like we have 5 starters that are all going to be double figures, and they're going to range between 10, 11 a game to 15, 16 a game. There's not many teams in the country that have probably as good a starting 5 as we have. And then we're potentially a lead on offense, a lead on defense, and we really rebounded well. So we're not vulnerable in a lot of spots right now.
Yeah, we talked about the interior game on the glass and scoring inside when they played in Hartford, but then today, you guys scored 48 points in the paint, won the rebounding battle. Just what was different? What did you like from the guys?
We're getting better against the switch. You know, we've played against switching so much. Teams that don't switch, they don't want to deal with our man stuff. So, you know, they're switching 1 through 4, on ball, off ball, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, even with Donovan, just because they don't want to chase us with the stuff that we run. So we've now faced switching enough times that we're getting better at playing versus the switch. And then Donovan's a weapon at the key. As people are cutting and moving, he's such a good passer. And you know, he doesn't have an open cutter. You know, now he's grenading it for a late ball screen and roll, and you have a 7-3 guy rolling to the rim. So, you know, we're coming up with solutions against the switch. That's helped a lot.
John Titel from Hoops HD. Castle has now scored 17 or more in 3 of his past 4. Do you
He
think
had
it is?
17 today?
I believe.
I thought he was horrible in the beginning. Kamani told me he played good at the end.
Do you think it is due to his self-confidence or your confidence in him or the natural progression through a freshman season or something else?
Yeah, I think with him, you give all the credit to his humility. You give all the credit to his parents. He doesn't. I've said this a bunch. He doesn't have fans. He's got parents. You know, when the other night he was bad against Butler. He had a bad game after 2 great games, and his dad, Craig, ripped him. Didn't rip me or Kamani. So when you have that and you have his talent, you know, things are going to go well. So credit to the family.
You mentioned the big man kind of QBing at the elbow, his split game.
Yeah.
How important was that today? It really put them on their heels, I thought, and they really couldn't adjust.
We got some great cutters. I mean, Steph's a great cutter. Alex is a great cutter. Cam's a great cutter. We've got guys that move without the ball. The ball screen's a big part of our offense, but we don't rely on it as much as maybe some other people. But yeah, I mean, he's a weapon up there because he's so tall, so he can see everything, and you know, it creates problems for the opponent.
And Tristan seemed to have his hand wrapped, and he only took 3 shots, 9 assists. Was he consciously being more of a distributor today?
Yeah, he was banged up. I don't want to say anything in the pregame because then you never know. It's like in the NFL, right? If you say somebody's got a hand injury, maybe somebody's going to try to smack the shit out of his hand or something. So I didn't say nothing about it. But yeah, he played hurt, but he also played what we're all about. He played we. You know, because today was Alex's day. You know, today was Steph's day, and that's today. You know, today was Sampson's day in the ball screen game, and that's the great thing about this team was, you know, Donovan could come off of an 18-14, and 18-14. You know, Cam could come off of the game he just had. Tristan could come off, and they're willing to allow somebody else to be the hero offensively because it's all about winning for us.
Last one right here.
Yeah, Coach, Jaden Epps came in 3rd leading scorer in the Big East, and you guys were able to hold him to 4 points. How were you able to accomplish that?
Yeah, I think he's just even watching it. I think in the Seton Hall game, I think he's gone out of his way to facilitate more and try to play, you know, more like a point guard. So I think he's trying to adapt. Obviously, our length, Tristan 6'5", we've got Steph 6'6". We've got big guards, and I think obviously that, you know, that potentially bothers him.
So everyone will have student athletes available outside the locker room.